Hi, everybody. I'm Mindy Caso. Well, today on Morning Brew, we're sitting down with someone whose passion and persistence helped create a space for connection, for visibility, and support in our community. Jorge Quijano is the founder of the Gateway City Pride Association. It's an organization dedicated to supporting and uplifting Laredo's LGBTQIA+ community. And as Pride Month approaches, we're talking about the journey behind the organization, from the challenges Jorge faced in getting it started to the importance of creating spaces where people feel seen and supported and celebrated. More than anything, this is a conversation about perseverance, about purpose, and never giving up on something you believe can make a huge difference. So with that in mind, Jorge, welcome to Morning Brew. I am so happy that you found the time, because you're so busy. You found the time to join us. I've been wanting to do this interview, as you know.
Yeah.
I've been asking you to sit down with me because I think that your story is one of courageousness, about perseverance, like I just mentioned right now, because you took on a challenge and you didn't let any of the hurdles that you face stop you or make you quit. So I want to talk a little bit about it. So first of all, thank you so much for being here, Jorge.
No, thank you for having me. And oh my goodness, you hit it right there. The challenges that we do come across.
Yeah.
I know there was other organizations before us, and the pandemic, it was just, I mean, we were indoors, and it started off during the pandemic, actually.
Let's start a little bit. Let's start way before the pandemic, because I want to talk a little bit about yourself. And we've known each other for quite some time. We've gotten to know each other a lot lately, because you are a regular guest on the morning show because of your regular job. But talk a little bit about where you were before and why you decided that you wanted to start the organization.
Well, when other businesses were hosting Pride events,
this was back in what
2017, 2018? Yes.
Okay, so a few years before the pandemic.
My goodness, almost 9 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
And so a lot of businesses were hosting Pride events, and so we would go support, and we would take photos, we would post it on our social media on Facebook, and a lot of my friends would comment, hey, we didn't know about this, and they didn't market it enough. And from my experience working in the marketing world, it's always marketing's fault, right? And so that also, you know, it just sparked an idea of, what if we get all these businesses together and organizations into one calendar? That way people won't say, oh, it wasn't marketed. People would start sharing this calendar, and they would know about all these Pride events and the support that these businesses and organizations have for our LGBTQ community.
So you saw very fragmented. Nothing wrong with the fragmentation, other than it just needed to come together.
Exactly.
There were businesses, everyone trying to do something on their own. First of all, Jorge, you're from Laredo, correct?
Yes, born and raised.
Okay, I just wanted to put it out there for our viewers. You're born and raised here in Laredo, so your passion, of course, is your community, and you've been working in marketing here for quite some time. You do an excellent job, by the way.
Thank you.
But you're born and raised here, so this is a community that you love, that you grew up in, correct? Where did you graduate from?
Absolutely. I graduated from Alexander High School,
Okay.
and I came out my freshman year, actually.
Of high school?
Yes, of high school. So this was 2001, already at the end of my freshman year. And
Did you receive a lot of support, or what kind of support did you get?
At first I didn't, I will say that. I mean, I could honestly say it wasn't supportive. Just the word gay was a taboo, and there was just so much negative perception. And I mean, I want to say it's understandable living in a town like this. And so from that experience, it got me to where I am today, where I always wanted to create a better understanding. And so my first 2 years in high school were not the best years, but I joined some organizations, and what really turned my life around in high school was I tried out for mascot.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you make it? Were you the
Yes,
Bulldog?
I was a Bulldog my senior year.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And all because of the movie Bring It On. I was inspired to become a cheerleader, but at that time, it was an all-girls team, but they're like, you could try for mascot, which is, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And being the only male surrounded by 25 girls, I'm sure a lot of guys are jealous. and and so yeah, from there, that's when the conversations were created. People were getting to know me for me, not for my sexual identity.
Right.
And so I mean that really, I mean it was just my class, my high school class is just amazing. I mean I just hung out with them recently for a birthday party and just seeing them and giving me great compliments of the accomplishments here with the Gateway City Pride. And so, I mean, yeah, it started off in high school.
So the first 2 years were kind of bummer years, but your last couple of years, you found your people.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, everyone was accepting. And also, I do want to point out that around that time, media also helped in the influence where we had Will and Grace, the show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and that was opening up minds slowly, and so that also
Will and Grace was very pivotal. I mean, not only was it funny, but the acting was great, the stories were wonderful, and you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people, just became a little bit more acceptant. So that was
to the
pretty
point
neat.
that they were even having a misconception. They were stereotyping me. They thought I knew how to do hair, and I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of. But I mean, the power of media, right? And yeah, I mean, that was my high school year. My college year at Laredo College in TAMU was, even more amazing. I worked at a retail store, and this is a store that was like the cool store with all the popular kids from like high school and after high school, like that were in dance teams, that were athletes, and we never had an issue with one another. They again got to know me, and they would just compliments, and that's what it is. Just we have to get to know one another before we place judgments.
Yeah, absolutely. So you finished your college education, and then so when can you say you were inspired to start up the association? At some point, you decided you needed to take the bull by the horns.
Well, let's see. After college, well, I will say my education at TAMU was amazing because I took a PR campaign course, and that taught me how to do an event. Yeah. And marketing courses as well, how to do a marketing plan. And so I still instilled in my head, in my brain with the marketing professor, like the foundation to any business is research. And that's what I ended up doing with Gateway City Pride. But that was still shaping me, because what really helped me shape my mind with this organization was when I moved to Austin. And I going to some Pride events. But before I get there, back to my high school years, my first Pride was at the age of 16 or 17. I went to San Antonio, and I mean, there was like maybe 5 cars in the parade, and a few people. It was open to the public. It was at a park. But just to be a part of a community that I felt we didn't have here at that time, back in like 2002, was just amazing. And so they started off small, and if you go to San Antonio right now, it's like they have like over 20 entries, and the parade and festival is big. And so that was also inspiring too, just to see that as a teenager. And so with my college education, me moving to Austin, coming back from Austin is where I felt, oh man, like I miss the culture. Laredo still needs to grow for diversity, inclusivity. But I tried once to do a Pride organization, but I came back with no experience. I had no job yet. I didn't know the networking, who to contact, who to call. Well, all my friends from college, they were already progressing in their careers, working at KGNS, working at Laredo College. And so I felt, man, you know what? Well, I have to build from scratch and get myself out there. And so I started volunteering my time with nonprofits, and one of them was with LTGI. And I was helping with their marketing and trying to build my resume. And I mean, and I also love theater as well. I love the arts. And so from there, yeah, I mean, I just branched off into working to a photography studio, to working at a local newspaper, doing their sales, and I'm not really good at sales. But I ended up trying to sell an ad to where I interned during my college years, and that was with the Washington's birthday celebration. And they also helped me grow in a sense of expanding my mind when it comes to marketing, sales, and events. And so it would just so happen that they had a position open, and everything just landed, it was fate. And so I went back and I worked with them. And I mean, that's actually what led to the idea of Pride Month, because, hey, if we could celebrate George Washington for a month, why not Pride?
Yeah.
But then that still wasn't there. That this was like in 2012. I left that organization in 2015. And that's when I started noticing little by little there was Pride events. And so just kind of connecting the dots, I took my experiences, my education, and just started utilizing all those tools and seeing the comments about, oh, you know what, there's no marketing for these events. So that's why it's like, okay, well, you know what, let's create a community calendar. But yes.
And that's how it finally all came together.
Kind of, because then it was still a thought, and other organizations were forming. But I think in 2020 with COVID-19, everything was just shut down, and that's when, I mean, I was furloughed, I wasn't working, and I mean, June happened, and we thought, well, why don't we do something as a community? They do it for the birthdays, they do it for the graduations, the vehicular parades, and so then we thought, well, what if we do the same thing?
Yeah.
And we were connecting with some city employees that were guiding us to the proper channels. We were gonna, you know, get some city assistance, but little did we know that the day of our event, there was a second wave and the governor shut all the businesses down. But we still continued with the vehicular parade. We still met downtown, we decorated our vehicles. We drove from downtown through San Bernardo going north, Saunders, McPherson. We went through International, San Isidro, took a break, went down Del Mar. McPherson to Del Mar, ended up there on the parking lot. And so I do want to say we were the first to do such a long vehicular parade. And just the media attention, the positive remarks, the feedback. I had a lot of time in my hands too, so then I thought, you know what if we just create a nonprofit? It's time to do something for a Pride Parade Festival.
And go bigger and better. And you know, the support that you received, of course, with the vehicle parade, you know, I think was probably the starting point of realizing that, you know, there is support. Laredo has grown and was more open to welcoming an association like the Pride Association. Jorge, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. Got to thank our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk about the mission behind the Gateway City Pride Association and why creating community and connection matters so much. So stick around. We're right back.
Why pay a monthly fee? Free checking at IBC.
Organic Man Coffee Track, Laredo's first and only coffee air roastery. For over 10 years, we've crafted bold, smooth flavors from around the world, committed to your health by exclusively using organic ingredients. Organic Man Coffee Track. Travel the world, one coffee at a time.
Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Morning Brew. I've got such a special guest with me today. I have my good buddy, Jorge Quijano. He is the founder of the Pride Association here at the Gateway City, and we're so excited to learn about his journey and the challenges and hurdles that he faced in getting the organization up and going. But boy, has he been successful. So, Jorge, let's continue. We were talking about where you were. You had just finished the very first vehicle parade right smack during COVID, but it was so successful. And we were talking about how this was probably the event that made you and others realize that Laredo was ready for an association.
Yes, and so after that, just the community showed up. We had like 12, 15 cars. And after that event, I thought, hey, you know what? Like, let's make this a legit nonprofit organization.
501c3. And you had that experience. You worked for the Washington's birthday celebration, as you mentioned. So you knew a little bit
so
about
how
this.
It works, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, still remember some of their bylaws. I also helped with the Laredo Border Slam bylaws as well. And so I did research, like my professor had mentioned, research is the fundamental of, growing a business. Yeah. And I looked at other Pride organizations, and there was a lot of reading. How do we tailor it to Laredo, and what's our mission, our objectives, and we created it. Some people that did participate in the parade, and some friends of mine as well. We just, do you want to be a part of this? We had our first meeting, signed the bylaws, and we became a legit nonprofit. And then from there, going through the proper channels with the state, and then with the state, the IRS, and I mean, it was just amazing. And to be honest, some of my peers were a little hesitant because they still had that fear of the machismo like mentality here.
Right.
And they thought, are we going to be in danger? Is something tragic's going to happen? But it's one of those that just having conversations with people. I mean, me working in these different outlets and community organizations, I felt like, hey, I don't think the issue really wasn't, the LGBTQ community. So, I mean, maybe I'm oblivious, but I didn't sense any danger. And so, once we did it, and we also, I mean, I like to always thank Elisa Cigarroa because we hosted it there downtown. And she was on board. And once we started getting that city support, I felt more safe. Yeah. And also having Big Lou on board too. I mean, he was such a big role in helping us do the first Pride Parade and Festival. And that's when we were already communicating with different organizations on how, because I also noticed, like, for example, the Laredo Film Society, they, do some Pride films, etc. And so, we just started getting everyone involved. And the purpose of this calendar was so we could show the public and our LGBTQ community that there is support out there for us. And with that calendar, I believe it created an impact, and people felt seen, they felt visible, they felt comfortable coming to these organizations and to these businesses.
Yeah. Is that the overall mission? Like, when you decided that you wanted it to be legit in a 501, what was the mission? What are you hoping that you can accomplish through the association?
Our mission is to create a better understanding between our LGBTQ community and the public. And I believe with that calendar, it really did help out, because I know, especially in today's political climate, there's just a lot of anger, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of fear. And just going through social media, you could see those angry comments, the just, attacks verbally. And I just feel that there's other different outlets and ways to have these conversations, and that's something that we really try to do our best to do that. Yeah. Because I know one of the things that my friend had mentioned is maybe some people are not ready for this type, but it's fine. But I mean, as long as we remain consistent and have these conversations, I believe we could really just make it a better place.
Yeah. Has it all been puppies and rainbows? Or have you had some challenges?
I mean, there's always been storms, but there's always a rainbow at the end of the storm, right? The challenges are, I mean, it's everywhere in a sense where we got a phone call from a media outlet from Austin about the Texas drag ban. And I think that's right now what is scaring everyone.
What is that?
The Texas drag ban, where they're putting restrictions on drag performers.
Oh, the ban, yes.
Yeah, the ban. And also our trans community, there's also, political attacks on them. So right now, a lot of our peers don't feel safe. And it's understandable as well. And people think that we're going from an outdoor area into an indoor because of these bans or this Texas law. But on the contrary, there's just a lot of infrastructure, the finances. We also have to look at that, like what is feasible for us. And we all know how hot Laredo can be. And so it's like, it just made sense to try something different. Sure. And then a lot of the businesses downtown are closing. And so I mean, our mothership, House of Whiskey, closed down, and that was like our cooling area. Then the only gay bar that was there, the only LGBTQ bar, Replay, closed. And so it just didn't make sense to us to continue there if, I mean, we're trying to beat the heat too.
Right, right.
And so that's just one of the challenges that we're facing politically, financially, and also the weather, Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. Yeah, it is hard, especially in the summertime. And Pride Month is June. So June here in Laredo is pretty hot.
Yes,
yeah,
and we've
it
had
is.
conversations because other Pride organizations are moving to October or April. And that's maybe something, but like I had told this one person, is October is already full of events. You have Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you have Halloween, everyone's doing events.
Yeah.
And it's LGBTQ History Month that we tried doing an event, and it was a great event. It was more of a seminar, getting to know the organizations, and they were highlighting a figure within their business, their department. And so that was a great success in teaching that there's LGBTQ icons everywhere within organizations and businesses. But yeah, it's just October's too much. There's a lot of going on.
Yeah, and then of course you get into November, you got Thanksgiving, you got the holidays. So it is, the months do seem to, to get filled up. But as far as the challenges, obviously you've been able to overcome, like you've said, because every year the month-long event just grows and grows, and it just seems like they're so successful. And do you feel like they're reaching the goal that you set out for? Do you feel like you are?
I believe so. I know that. I mean, internally, I will say, just like any businesses or even with colleagues, it's in the office, we have disagreements. That's we're all gonna have disagreements, but I think we're all on the same page that we want to make a difference a positive difference in our community, not just for the LGBTQ community, our community, but also just the city as a whole. And so that's the challenges too, is like, it's okay to disagree, but how can we manage to work together? Because right now we only have each other. And so, but with the calendar, it does, I believe it showcases to everyone that, this is a safe community. And another thing that really motivated us is that Laredo would always score a low score in the equality index as not being a friendly city to the LGBTQ community. And that they have a different metric system. But here in Laredo, from a subjective point of view, you see the support through these businesses. They even call like, hey, do you want to have your Pride event here? But then we also come across like, okay, are they just using us as a cash flow, or are they really, allies?
Right.
So there's a lot of factors, challenges, but also achievements, because, hey, we got our first city proclamation in 2021 proclaiming June as Pride Month. And then we also got a proclamation for October that it's LGBTQ History Month. And so the city does support in any way that they can.
Well, that was my next question. What kind of support have you received from our local government here? Do you feel comfortable and safe going to them?
Yes, absolutely. We go every year to invite them to the Pride Month with the calendar of events that we showcase. We thank them because they have helped us through city grants, or even just as, however that they can. And so, yeah, the support has always been there. We've worked with the City Health Department as well, with the different entities. And so, I mean, PD, they would always escort us for the parade when we would march. And so, yeah, as a city, I do feel that they support. And so I even just when we were applying for the city grants, and it's public, where Mr. Torres, former council member Torres, asked, well, how come Gateway City Pride is not getting any monies? and why is this getting this much money? And so then knowing that they had our backs, and I already thought we got turned down, but then it's like they rearranged and they allocated funds for us because of the Pride Parade and Festival, because we do it free and open to the public. We try to make it as accessible to everyone. It goes back to when I was 16 that I went to San Antonio for this free event. Right. And so that's what I'm trying to do here too, that we don't have to go out of town anymore. We could celebrate our community here locally.
Yeah. Is it your goal or your hope that you reach out to other kids who were in your shoes when you were there and didn't feel like you could come out and be honest about that? Is that what you're hoping that you can accomplish by by putting a month-long celebration together and reaching out through organizations and businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some kids might be shy. I know I was shy, but if I was 16 and there was a film screening, I would go to it. And so that's the whole purpose of this too. The big picture is so everyone can feel comfortable, whether they like the arts, wrestling. Some of the comedy shows, I mean, it's not for kids, right? And some of the drag shows as well. But yeah, we just want everyone to feel welcome, be able to feel seen. Like we participated in the Washington's birthday parade, right? And to see those kids look at our float, look at our drag queens, like they, it's like they appreciate the work and effort.
Yeah.
And I get calls from parents like, hey, my daughter feels safe. They're at the festival because now we have contests like the lip sync battle. And so we try to make it fun for the crowd, for everyone.
Yeah. Well, I do have to say that at the Washington's birthday celebration parade, y'all had a phenomenal float. Yeah.
That shout out to Robbie Lopez. Like he really knows how to make us stand out.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was. Jorge, we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, Pride Month, as we've been talking about, it's right around the corner. So we're going to talk about what the community can expect this year, and Jorge is going to share his hopes for the future of the organization and the people that it serves. So stick around. More of The Brew is coming up.
Organic Man Coffee Track, Laredo's first and only coffee air roastery. For over 10 years, we've crafted bold, smooth flavors from around the world, committed to your health by exclusively using organic ingredients. Organic Man Coffee Track. Travel the world, one coffee at a time.
Welcome back, everybody. We are continuing the conversation in this episode of Morning Brew with Jorge Quijano. We've been talking about the journey of establishing the Pride Association here in the Gateway City, and we've gotten to the point where June is right around the corner, and we want to talk a little bit about what we can expect for this month's Pride Month. Jorge, so, like you said, your board, all of y'all are volunteers, but you take the time, as much time as you can find in y'all's schedule, to put together a good month of calendar events so that, folks could understand the organization and others can feel more included. So let's talk a little bit about what you have in June.
Well, we start off with a kickoff on June 4th, which is at Frontera Beer Garden. We like to showcase organizations that are hosting a Pride event. So that way the people that are going to this event, they get to know the organizations well, they get to know their mission, what they stand for, and also so they can know what event that they're having for Pride Month. And so, there's other organizations, they host their own events like there's films, there's comedy shows, drag shows, wrestling. So there's just so many events that happen throughout June. And then of course the staple, which is our Gateway City Pride Parade and Festival, which is set for Saturday, June 13th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that's going to be at Embassy Suite. And so we're working on how to add the aspect of the parade. And so we want to bring it back to our original roots, how we started downtown. And so right now we're working on the permit.
Okay.
And hopefully, if the city's watching, hopefully you could approve that. But I still have time, so we're going to turn that permit ASAP. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. There's challenges, exhaustions, but at the end, when it's just that one person that says, thank you so much, keep doing it, that just motivates us, we created this for, other organizations to just, plug in or inspire other people to do their own organizations as well. Because Gateway City Pride, we are in charge of the Pride Parade and Festival, but there's other organizations too that, they have their own vision, their own views, and that's totally normal. We, started this movement And hey, we encourage people to also start your movement as well.
Yeah.
And somehow just find a way to coexist and work together, because we're here to support one another.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the more the merrier. And why not? Why not? And you started a movement, and that's one of the reasons why I had been wanting to talk to you for so long, because you never quit, Jorge. You never did. And this is a tough one. There's a lot of folks out there that have passions and perseverance for wanting to start an association and an organization that does, the community good and is great. And we honor them all the time, with our KGNS Honors Program. But you took on one that's difficult and not accepting by a lot of people. And my admiration for you and your colleagues for doing this is just very profound, because it's hard to take on a hard case, and you did. So I want to talk just in the few minutes that we have time, I want to talk a little bit about how businesses can support, because being a part of an organization that brings people together is just good for businesses. It's good marketing. So how can we get folks to help you all out?
Well, they could, we accept donations of all kinds, from door prizes, in-kind donations. For an example, we hosted an event at one of the local establishments, and they donated the food, and that we had like a career networking mixer. So even those type of like donations really help us a lot. We are a nonprofit. We everything that comes through this organization goes back out to the community. And the one that's really important is the financial donations that we also
and that's
need.
A tax write-off.
Yeah, and the sponsorships, because we really try to make this free and open to the public, and so those financial donations and sponsorships really do help out. And also, there's value into it. We get about more than 500 people that go to this free and open to the public event, and they also get the visibility of like, hey, you know what, they are supporters, and I mean, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like we've been talking about, we're both marketing people, and it's good for businesses to show that they care about everybody in the community, because we all live here together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know, again, back with the political climate, a lot of businesses stop supporting. I mean, if you look at the news, there's bigger prides that are going through these challenges. And fortunately, we're fortunate that we're still here trying to make Pride happen. And that's what I tell people, like, hey, you know what, whatever people are throwing at us, it's still going to happen, and we're here to accomplish, execute it, and just make everyone feel welcome, seen, and safe.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing a great job, and it's a testament to that, because of how much the organization continues to grow every year. Like I mentioned, you come on the morning show and you talk about the events, and it just seems like every year there's a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. You started off with one event, and now you're a month-long events. Yeah, so that is pretty amazing.
And we couldn't do this without the support of these nonprofit organizations and businesses, because I myself can't do it alone. Our board cannot do it alone. We all have our own Pride events, but just to get together and showcase that there is support for our LGBTQ community, that's already a win situation.
Yeah, definitely. Jorge, I want to end with a little reflection here. What would you tell yourself? What would you tell little Jorgito from way back in middle school or high school, seeing where you are right now? What do you tell yourself or other kids in your situation?
There's going to be challenges. People are not always going to agree with you, but continue to shine bright. Don't let anyone dim your light, regardless if they disagree with you. Continue doing what you're doing, and just continue. Don't give up. That's all I would tell my younger self. Don't give up, because there's always going to be challenges, but what makes it even exciting is when you overcome them. That's just like the relief that, oh my gosh, if I handled this, if I overcame this, and what else can I do?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're so successful now, and you're such a fun person. You have such a positive outlook. You don't let things bother you, or if you do, you definitely don't show it.
I try not to.
You always smile. You're always laughing. You know, you just have an aura about yourself that is very apparent.
Thank you.
You know, you don't come on the morning show at 5:30 in the morning ever with, you know, a poochy face, if I can use that term. You just always have a smile, and you know, it's very nice.
Well, it's because
to
you
see
guys
that.
are fun too. Y'all are fun.
Well, you can join the morning team anytime.
Hey, some
because-
people thought I worked here. I was like, no, I'm just a guest.
A regular guest. Yeah, absolutely. Well, where can folks call you for more information, or if they want to see a calendar of the events coming up, where can folks follow you at, and if they have any kind of donations?
Yes, they could go to gatewaycitypride.org. Our social media handles are at 956pride for Instagram and Facebook, and you could always email us 956pride@gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Jorge. Thank you so much for coming and just sharing a little bit about your journey. And hopefully we can reach some folks out there who can help or who would like to join.
Yes,
join
we're always
y'all's
looking for volunteers
association.
to come help decorate.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pride Month, once again, kicks off in June. First
Yes.
event is when?
June 4th, which is Thursday, at Frontera Beer Garden at 7 p.m.
Okay, sounds good. Well, everybody be there, show your pride. And Jorge, thank you so much for everything you do for our community. We appreciate what you do. And that does it for this episode of Morning Brew. Make sure to tune in for another really great episode we have just around the corner. For now, enjoy the brew.